Hey YouTube, Matt here, bringing you something a bit different for a change. I am in the future planning to run a form of Lightsworn deck. It's not going to be full meta because obviously I lost a bunch of stuff. But I thought just for fun I'd make sort of a budget Lightsworn deck. So the main deck is purely from 3 of the structure decks, and then I've sort of gone with the premise of trying to stay under 50 quid, so I've just made a quick cheap extra deck which everybody should be able to get hold of easily. So we'll start off with the 3 JD. Then 3 Lumina. Obviously Lumina is probably the second best card after Judgment Dragon in the deck, just because it gets your synchro plays or exceed plays going with extra mills. Then 3 of one of the newer cards from the structure deck. Well, how many was? Oh, whatever, it doesn't matter. Raiden, which is one of the best cards again, just because you can get a force mill out of this rather than having to wait for the end turn. So its effect is you can mill 2 during your main phase, then during your end phase you mill another 2. Then 3 Lila, good old spell and trap removal, then mill 3 at the end phase. Then the 1-ofs that are Lightsworns, no, lies, 2-ofs, so 2 Garroths just for a bit of draw power. Then 2 Wolves, 2 Wolf just for the fact of getting some rank 4 plays off potentially, and it's a 2-1 beat stick. Then the 1-ofs, we've got 1 Eren just to deal with set things. It may be worth siding another one of these if you're going against sort of a hat deck, just because you can bounce the set hands back to deck. 1 Jane, just as another name and a beat stick. 1 Minerva, it's a tuner, level 2 tuner, and it also can search out a dragon monster equal to the number of Lightsworns in grave. So it can search out your JD, it can also search out your Diablos. It's probably not going to happen a lot, but just for the fact of having the option and just being another name in grave really helps. Then we've got 1 Celestia. I was just trying to think of a last spot and decided to just dump Celestia in. It's not the best, but still being able to tribute mill 4 and then pop in 2 cards is still okay, and it's a 2-3 beat stick and another name. Then to the non-Lightsworn cards, 1 Honest. It's a light deck, you run Honest. Zephyros, it comes in the structure deck. It's an okay pick, I guess, because you can make sort of plays with it to go into rank 8s, not rank 8s, go into level 8 synchros using your Raiden. So you could go Lumina, pitch the Zephyros, summon a Raiden from grave, bounce back the Lumina to hand to bring back Zephyros and go into a level 8 synchro. Then onto the other boss monsters except for JD, 2 Diablos. Diablos is obviously the card that's being run in the meta version because it's a dragon, so it works for the dragon rollers, etc. And it's a level 7, so it goes into them level 7 plays. But on its own, it's still good. It's 2-8 beat stick, and once per turn, you can banish a light monster from grave to target 1 set card your opponent controls. Then you can choose to put that either to the bottom or the top of the deck. Then Light Ray Daedalus, just a weaker Light Ray, but it's still a 2-6 beat stick. With Diablos, you have to have 5 different names in grave. With Daedalus, you just have to have 4 lights. So you can get into this very quickly, and it's 2-6 beat stick. Then no Lightsworn deck would be complete without having some protection from 3 Necro Gardener. So 1 Monster Reincarnation, just for those instances where you mill your JDs, it's a way to get it back. Potentially you can just get rid of another thing from hand to put another name to the grave for JD, so it's okay at 1.
Get rid of those wolves.
Yep, triggers wolf. 1 Foolish, again, just to get another name into the grave or get something specific for Illumina. Then 1 Charge, search out anyone you want, get mills, happy days. 3 Recharge, again, mill power, draw power, all good. Then 3 Breakthrough, the best reprint from the deck. Obviously, if you mill this, it's fine, it's not an issue at all, because you can still get a negation out of it. Then 2 Beckoning Light. Decided to only run it at 2, because I thought 3 would be a bit overkill reincarnation, but this is good, especially in a budget-orientated deck, because you can just dump your hand, get a load of lights back, and get JDs as you've milled them. Then, just to go through sort of a cheap extra deck, which I think would be around 30 quid to go with this. So, we've got 1 Visual Rhythm, it gets over things, it bumps up to 3k when you're attacking. 1 Zen Mains, obviously you've got Spell and Trap, not Spell and Trap, you've just got destruction effects for it in the end phase and it's just defensive. 1 Leviathan. This is a Leviathan, it's Ghost. Obviously you can get this in common now, so just 2/5 beat stick. Acid Golem, 3k beat stick. Black Ship of Corn, just very good for the fact that it sends. Should be able to pick this up for a few quid nowadays. Ragnar Zero, probably the best rare synchro there is, not synchro, Exceed, just because there's sort of like Bujins, Fire Fists, Madolches, anything pretty much which uses a field spell nowadays, Harpies. This just fucks up so much stuff, it's too good. 1 Gemnite Pearl, this is just for the fact that maybe you come across the Evil Swarms at some point, this gets you over that. You may not be able to get into a lot, hence I've only put a couple of rank 4s in. I put in a couple of rank 8s. These are, again, both cheaply to get hold of. You can use your JDs to go into this.
Just how it's shot, but come down a little bit.
Moving down a bit?
Yeah.
Okay. So obviously you can get to these from your JDs, so more Spell and Trap. Why do I keep saying Spell and Trap instead of just Destruction? More Destruction from Heliopus and you tribute from hand as well, I believe.
Yep.
And Gimmick Puppets is just gets effect damage done.
And also those rank 8s can get you out of decking out, because if you've got like 2 Judgment Dragons on the field, you're going to be milling 8. Some games you just can't afford to do that, so you go into one of these instead.
Then for some synchros to go with your Raiden and your Minerva. So just 1 at 6, because it's not going to happen very often because it's just the Minerva, so HTS Psychemoth, it's relatively easy to get hold of nowadays. The 3 Michael from the structure deck. Your main play for this is obviously going to be Lumina and Raiden. It's still a very good card, and just having extra spot destruction is all well and good. Then to finish off the 15 card extra deck, we got 2 8s to go again with the Raidens, because being level 4 tuner it's quite easy to get hold into this. Then the last card is technically 16, but I'm sort of putting this in because it's getting reprinted soon, so it should be able to get hold of it. Rather than it being like 10 to 15 now, it will probably drop down to like 5 for the special edition one. Okay, so that's it for this version of the deck. I'll probably be doing another deck profile within a week or so with what my build is going to be currently, and then what it might be in the future when I can get hold of some more cards. Okay, see you next time.